China continues its crackdown on Taiwan. Beijing has now reportedly sanctioned 7 Taiwanese officials for supporting island's independence. The officials who face sanctions include the de facto Taiwan ambassador to Washington and Secretary General of Taiwan's National Security Council, among other politicians from Taiwan's ruling Democratic Progressive Party. China's Taiwan Affairs Office said that those sanctioned would not be able to visit China, Hong Kong and Macau, while firms and investors related to them will also not be allowed to profit in China. The move comes a day after the South Asian nation reinitiated its military drills around Taiwan as arrival of another U.S. congressional delegation in the island irked Beijing. China was already infuriated over U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's Taiwan visit, a move that China said had sent a wrong signal to pro-independence forces on the island. Yesterday, China's military said it carried out joint combat readiness patrols and combat drills in the sea and airspace around Taiwan, citing infringement of its sovereignty. China further claimed that the exercises were a stern deterrent to the United States and Taiwan play tricks that undermine peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait.
China will take resolute and effective measures to safeguard its national sovereignty and territorial integrity. A few U.S. politicians connive with the separatist forces of Taiwan independence and attempt to challenge the One China principle. This goes beyond their own abilities and is doomed to failure.
China's reaction came after a 5-member congressional delegation led by Senator Ed Markey of Massachusetts landed in Taiwan on Sunday. Delegation's members include Democrats John Garamendi, Alan Lowenthal of California, Don Bear of Virginia, Republic Representative Omwa Amata Coleman from American Samoa was also part of the team. The delegation visited the Taiwanese parliament on Monday and met their counterparts, a further sign of U.S. support to the autonomous island. The group also met Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen, who reiterated Taiwan's determination to maintain status quo across Taiwan Strait.
Not only do we work closely with allies around the world and closely control all military developments around us, we also continue to express to the international community Taiwan's determination to maintain the status quo of stability across the Taiwan Strait.
Earlier, Nancy Pelosi toured Taipei. Her visit had sparked unprecedented air and sea drills. The situation doesn't seem any different this time as well. China has again responded angrily to the congressional delegation's visit. Taiwan accused China of using Pelosi's visit as an excuse to kickstart drills that could serve as rehearsals for an invasion. And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani is live with us from New York. Susan, good to see you. Doesn't this visit worry the United States and the anger from China? Doesn't it worry the United States?
Well, on the one hand, the White House has sort of tried to distance itself from these, if you may, freelance trips, summer destinations to Taiwan by congressional leaders, first of all led by the elderly Nancy Pelosi and then followed up by this majority Democratic delegation with one Republican going to Taiwan afterwards. But on the other hand, trips by congressional delegations to Taiwan is not unusual. This has happened before. So, while the Biden administration tries to say that it's distancing itself, it continues to have that one China policy. Beijing has been acting very aggressively this time, maybe perhaps because of Pelosi being the highest ranking official in 25 years, or perhaps because Xi Jinping is in a dire situation and challenging position back home as well. After all, his economy isn't doing very well. Unemployment among the youth is very bad. He has that upcoming summit to try to grip to his leadership position for years to come. So, there's a domestic aspect of why Xi is reacting the way he is. But on the other hand, there are those in the United States that said that perhaps after Pelosi, maybe this trip on the part of lawmakers should have come at a later time. But the fact that U.S. lawmakers going to Taiwan. It's not unprecedented, so to say. But in terms of worrying the United States, I think President Biden, to just echo what he said he's concerned, but he's not concerned enough to think that Beijing would go far enough to start out an all-out confrontation. Let me just remind you, Eric, that we know that President Biden might actually meet with Xi Jinping in November. That'll be interesting to see what those two men will talk about if they do decide to meet.
Indeed, that will be interesting to see. Let's see if at all that meeting will happen. Thank you very much, Susan Tehrani. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.